This is a song I wrote recently. I haven't been around much on the music scene the last few years because I've been doing a law degree. Yeah, it keeps you off the streets. And one of the things I got to do as part of that law degree was I got to go overseas to study in Malaysia. And this was very, very exciting for me because I knew I was going to be living in an international student share house. And I hadn't lived in a share house, in a student share house for 20 years. So I thought, oh, this is going to be great. It felt like a passport to my own youth. We're going to hang out, we're going to cook and eat and drink wine and sit up late and talk about philosophy and politics and set the world to rights and carry on like pork chops. It's going to be great. And then I got there. And I found myself living in an apartment on the 17th floor of a tower block in the industrial outer suburbs of Kuala Lumpur, in a place called Subang Jaya, which is basically just like a 24-hour traffic jam with buildings stuck in amongst it, living with 4 very nice girls who spent all their time in their rooms, online, on Facebook, with their doors shut. And I tried, I really tried. I said, hey guys, let's get a kitty happening for food and expenses. And they're like, what's kitty?
What, you mean like Hello Kitty?
And, it's where we all put in like 15 or 20, 35, whatever, a certain amount of ringgits a week. And, we buy food collectively out of that and, cleaning stuff, whatever, toilet paper. And, it's cheaper and it's communal. And they seemed utterly terrified by this idea. They all just looked at me and went, wouldn't it be easier if we all just bought our own food? Anyway, all right, fine. So, of course, you'd open the fridge and there'd be 5 bags of groceries and they'd all be rotting. And there'd be 5 litres of milk and they'd all be open and they'd all be going off. But the odd thing about this situation for me was, here I was living in a share house for the first time in 20 years and I was spending more time on Facebook than I ever had before because I was lonely. So it got me all nostalgic about the ways in which we used to communicate, which have kind of fallen into disuse, like mixtapes and handwritten letters, and how people used to just drop in for cups of tea. That just doesn't happen anymore. Like that, people always ring or text first. We've become more formal, which is strange. And what I really miss is the way people would make it like get a D90 cassette and they put an album on each side. Remember this? And then there'd be a little gap at the end, and people would just fill it up with some random stuff, just that they thought you'd like. And maybe they wouldn't even write it on the box, just be a mystery. And years later, when you bought the CD, those songs weren't on there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I used to do this thing that I love doing, and you can't really do it so much anymore with CDs because they've only got one side. But I used to change the labelling on the cassette, and I put side B on one side and side 2 on the other. Kept me amused for hours. Sorry.
That's all right. It's just the kind of guy he is. All right. All around me I can see people interacting through a screen. Now, I won't say it doesn't have its uses, but I recall a world where virtually everything was real. I remember life before Facebook. A young man ran away to Kuala Lumpur with his broken heart still bleeding in his backpack. The distance cannot slip a healing cushion between the here and now and what he left back there. Each day another message in the inbox, another chance to drag each other through it. He wanna fly, but he got Facebook. This is a song from the 17th floor. My housemates in their rooms and all online. The girl across the hallway, she don't knock upon the door. Instead the chat box pops with her inquiry. and I cook the kitchen solitary. They thank me and take the food back to their rooms. They don't want life. They're all on Facebook. They don't want life. He's not right now because they're busy. Yeah, on Facebook. Let me come unwind just for a day. Let me remember other ways to get connected. The odd songs a friend would put at the end of a D90 tape. The pleasure and the kettle on for unexpected guests. The joy of longhand letters in the mail. The heart skip when you recognize the writing. Share house message books upon the table. The way we sought each other out just as often as we were able. I remember lives before Facebook. I remember lives before MacBook. Hell, I'm old enough to remember life way, way, way back before Outlook. Before Nokia, before BlackBerry, before Explorer, Google, YouTube, or even Pac-Man. Andrew, take us back. Now I don't diss the advantage of the age, but I miss that old respect for information. The power of the print upon the page. The way we ferreted the facts and wrote them down. When a friend was more than 1 square centimetre, more than a follower, more than a tweet. When a response was more than 140 odd characters. When it was the person, not the profile, that you went to see. I remember life before Facebook. I remember life before MacBook. I remember it coming at me live, all the time, real time, real time. I remember live. And now I've found a face that I really want to see. But he's a man who, by modern standards, knows the worth of privacy. And all those modern methods to check his availability are not available to me. 'Cause he lives his life not on Facebook. He's living his life somewhere out there, but not on Facebook. And I know because I've tried. And I'm telling you, he's not on Facebook. And I think I like him all the more for not being on Facebook. Thank you.
So thank Penelope Swales, Mal Webb, Carl Pinotol,
Andrew Clement. Andrew Clement. That's
and
right.
MX Studio for getting us all.